Hello everybody, welcome back. Tropical update number 51 on Tropical Storm Ida and Kate, as well as two area of interest we're now watching. Tropical Storm Julian dissipated this morning into a post-tropical cyclone. Let's begin with our friend Ida. Ida prompts still tropical storm warnings over the southern half of Mississippi and the surrounding areas there. A tornado watch over southern Mississippi and Alabama and far western Florida, as well as a flash flood watch over much of the United States, basically from Mississippi all the way over to the Atlantic coast near Georgia and Pennsylvania. So Ida will continue to weaken, become post-tropical here within the next day or two. As we see by tomorrow night, it'll be a tropical depression over Texas. And by Wednesday morning, it becomes a post-tropical cyclone moving off the United States coast. Let's take a look at the current radar on Ida. As we can see, the very large cyclone, at least in terms of its cloud fields, the center now around Jackson, Mississippi, but heavy rain spreading over much of the United States, or at least much of the southeastern United States and much of the eastern United States as a whole. As we can see here, lots of rain still to come for much of the Atlantic seaboard, interior United States, Tennessee and lower Ohio valleys, all expecting to get a decent amount of rain associated with Ida. As we can see here, tornadoes remain a threat with the storm as well. 5% chance for southern Alabama and the Florida Panhandle today, 2% for the remainder of Alabama, southern Tennessee and the surrounding areas. By the time we get to tomorrow, the Florida Panhandle, eastern Alabama, and western Georgia in that 5% risk, and a 2% risk all the way up to the mid-Atlantic coast of Maryland and Delaware. We're looking at a marginal risk again on Wednesday for the Atlantic seaboard from northern South Carolina into southern New Jersey. Let's move on to Tropical Storm Kate. As we see, it's basically a naked swirl due to about 30 knots of shear on the storm right now, so it's really not doing too hot. But we can see the swirl pretty clearly. We can see the convection around where the swirl is at, of course, heavily displaced from it. But it has been enough to be considered a tropical storm now, and it'll continue with tropical storm strength up to the general northward direction. It'll take a northwestward turn before turning back north. As we can see here, little support from the European model. It thinks that the shear will dissipate the storm out completely, but other models bring this to a Category 1 hurricane as early as the end of this week. So still lots of things up in the air on Kate, and we'll see if we can continue to keep it that way. Let's move on to our area of interest off the coast of Africa. As we can see, by the end of this week, we may have a Category 4 hurricane over the middle of the Atlantic. Now, this storm's one of the quickest forming, best forecasted tropical cyclone genesises that has ever been in existence. The European model has predicted this for almost a week or two in advance. I've been talking about it for at least a week. And as we can see here, we're up to the odds of 90%. The storm just got off the coast of Africa this afternoon Eastern time, and so I guess this evening where the wave is located, and that'll likely become a tropical cyclone here very, very quickly as we move on with time. We're also watching an area of interest over the Caribbean, like I've mentioned a few times so far. We'll continue to monitor that. Only a 20% chance of formation, not a whole lot of model support with that one. The 7-day forecast from the European ensembles. Again, we can see the remnants of Julian moving off to the north up in the upper part of the screen. We can see Kate, kind of see Kate, where about this new tropical cyclone is going to be likely as a very strong Hurricane Larry over where Kate is at right now. And we can see, of course, Ida over Louisiana in our area of interest in the Caribbean Sea, moving towards the Gulf of Mexico. And not strengthening much at all, which is good. And then even another tropical wave moving off the coast of Africa then after that. So again, we're past the Ida phase. We can kind of take a deep breath, but there's still more developments going on in the Atlantic. The good news is Kate's no threat to land. The area of interest off the coast of Africa for now is going to be no threat to land, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it as we head into the future. And of course, that area of interest in the Caribbean Sea has potential for land impacts, but first we have to have increased confidence that it's going to form before we talk about anything like that. That's all I have for now. Chris Dixon of Weather, Catholic Media.